Hey guys, Tony back again, Horror and Todge. How's everyone doing? Hope you're okay. Just thought I'd come back today with what I've been watching this week again, another video. So instead of me doing like the odd reviews, which I still do every now and again, but I thought I'd just come on and show you I've been watching 4 or 5 films this week and I'll show you what I've watched. So some of the movies are from Severin and Vinegar Syndrome, what I haven't watched yet. So the first one I want to talk about is this uh, Soviet movie from Russia called Vi. It's a 1967 movie, and it's a release from Severin I've just got. It's a pretty new release, first time on Blu-ray. And if you want to read the back of it, guys, there it is. Basically, what happens in this one, there's like a load of convent guys who work in the church, and they get let out for a summer holiday, and it's very, very, very 60s set, you know. And they go out drinking and stuff, vodka. It's very Russian. It's subtitled, and these 3 guys stumble across this inn or farmhouse where this old haggard lady sort of lets them in for the night to stay, sort of hospitality. Then one of the guys, who's the lead character, gets taken away by this old lady, and she's like starts flying on a broom and stuff, so she's a witch basically. And he sort of falls to the ground and sort of beats her with this stick, and she sort of dies, and she turns into this beautiful young woman, and he sort of runs back to his church. And then he's the leader of the church sort of says, you've got to go to this town quite far away and pray for this young girl who's been killed, who's basically, it's like a funeral. And he goes there, and it's he's got to stay up 3 nights with this corpse, and he soon finds out the corpse was that of the witch he's killed, and sort of that's basically the story. It's got like quite a spooky bit of a atmosphere about it. Like I say, it's very 60s, it's almost 50s-ish really. Like I say, it's a 1967 film, but great cinematography, great music, I think. And it was quite, don't think it was meant to be at the time, but it's quite funny now. You know what I mean? It's quite laughable. And the only thing is though, like when you see the trailers and stuff, you think you're going to see all these monsters and stuff, but you only see them in the last 5 minutes really. That's when everything comes to life. Vampires and goblins, and Vi himself is like this big sort of character here. And yeah, it's just that basically. Like I say, it won't be for everyone, but I enjoyed it for what it was. So like I say, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but that's Vi. Great release. Oh, it looked beautiful as well. And apparently the guy who sort of got the story, it's from the, I think, Black Sunday from Mario Bava, is taken from the same sort of story. So, you know, it's got that sort of witch feel about it. But decent film. For a 60s film, I really enjoyed it. Really cool. Wasn't on for very long either. About 70 minutes, 70 odd minutes. Next film I watched was 2 female spies in flowered panties. This was like Euro crime sleaze film. 1980, it says on the back here, from who is it? Jess Franco, isn't it? Yeah, Jess Franco. But it was more like a 70s movie. I didn't think it was set in the 80s. It probably brought out in the 80s, but it was more like 78 or something. I don't know. But yeah, basically it's about these 2 women, and they're sort of in prison, and they get brought out of prison to do a job, basically to be spies. So they go undercover as erotic dancers, and they sort of get put up in this hotel room, and basically one of them's got to take pictures of a neighbouring house that's got like quite sadistic sort of, the sort of kidnap girls and rape them and stuff. And yeah, it's like I say, it's very sexual, very sleazy, lots of nudity and stuff. Not hardcore porn, but there's some quite disturbing like rape scenes, I suppose. But yeah, cheesy fun, you know, that Euro crime sort of stuff. It's just, I had a fun time with it. Nothing special, but it was all right for a watch. It was, you know, it was quite funny. But yeah, that was another one I watched. Two Female Spies in Flower Panties. One of the best titles ever. Next one I just finished off watching was Spookies. I think it's in 1986. This is the nice Vinegar Syndrome cover. Basically, this is pure 80s cheese. These guys, a bit like Night of the Living Dead, these guys turn up at this old mansion in a graveyard to have a party. There's quite a lot of them, 2 carloads. And there's like an old sorcerer there, and he's sort of bringing back his late sort of love interest, who's really young, and he's like this really old wizened up guy, and he's summoning the dead and all sorts of fun like that. They're just running around this mansion basically, like a lot of these 80s things, like Slaughter High, like that sort, and they're just getting killed off. But some great, well, not great, horrible practical effects. Lots of bad makeup and lots of bad rubber monsters chasing them around, but great fun. I absolutely had a blast with this. Great film. If anyone likes that sort of thing, I love this 80s cheese. Real fun time. This is a beautiful edition from Vinegar Syndrome. The transfer was fantastic. And on that Vi as well, just going back to that Vi, what I showed you first, for a 1967 film, the transfer was fantastic on that too. But this is really good transfer. I'd never heard of it before, and just had a really fun time with it. Really good fun, just crazy monster fun. Really enjoyed it. Another 80s film. So I watched that one. Next one I watched this week, got round to it at last. Didn't watch it in the cinemas. Haven't watched it yet, but I finally got around to watching Glass. So this is M. Night Shyamalan from last year, about 2018, isn't it? And as you can see, it stars Bruce Willis, James McAvoy, Samuel L. Jackson. And basically it's just a continuation of Unbreakable, Split, and then obviously Glass. It just brings a trilogy. But this is more like, now, instead of it being where Split, I thought that was fantastic in the way James McAvoy was acting. He's still really good at this, you know, changing his personality to a split personality, like schizophrenia, changing to do. But this turns into a superhero movie basically. And these guys, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, these guys actually turn out, all 3 of them really, to be the good guys, and sort of the government's the bad guys. So yeah, it's pretty complex story. I can't really go too much into it, but all 3 guys end up in a mental institute, and then sort of Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson's character actually comes round. They've been drugging him, and he's really clever, and he sort of comes round to thinking that they are really superheroes, and there is a place in sort of humanity, there has been for thousands of years, you know, for these superheroes, but the government don't want them to be. So that's basically the story, guys. I'm not going to get too much into it. I liked it, but like I say, not a horror film, not a thriller really, more of a superhero film. But a cool film, great acting by all 3 guys. Some of the storyline was a bit weak, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. Me and the missus watched it. So that's Glass. That's a cool film. Last one I watched this week. You know I'm a big Fulci fan. Watched The House by the Cemetery again. This is the Arrow edition. I'm going to try and pick up the new edition from, what's it called? The one in America. I can't remember. Can't be asked to do it again. But yeah, someone in America's bringing it out anyway. 3-disc edition with a lenticular slip. You know, them who brought out Maniac and stuff. I can't remember off the top of my head. But this is House by the Cemetery. It's Fulci. It's about 1970 something. I can't remember off the top of my head. 78, 76. And basically follows this woman and guy who sort of, the guy's gone to work as like an architect or something in the city. And they sort of rent this house here by the cemetery. And you got a really creepy little boy in this. I absolutely love this film. He's blonde-headed and he's just really creepy. There's something about him. And he keeps seeing this stuff in paintings and photographs of this weird little girl in the window of this house. And anyway, They end up moving to his house and creepy stuff starts to happen. They get a creepy nanny. Zombies start to come up from the cellar, and there's killings, there's blood, there's Fulci-esque red blood, and great gore and Fulci. Really weird storyline. Great stuff. Love this film. If you haven't seen it, House by the Cemetery, guys, absolutely love it. So yeah, that's me. So I've watched them this week, guys. 5 films. Like I say, I don't watch too many films. I know some of you guys watch a lot more than that, but I don't get really time to watch that many. So I just thought I'd come on and a little bit of a explanation about the films. So I'm not going to go too far into it, because if you want to watch them, watch them. But really cool films this week. I like them all, really. Spookies was a standout for me. Just a great film. Loved it. But yeah, tell me if you've seen these films, guys. Tell me if you want me to, review a film for you or anything like that, or a video or something. Keep giving me ideas. Like I say, I'm working on my extreme horror reviews, but I'm getting around to that. It's just taking a bit of time, because I'm going to start to add photos and clips and stuff if I can. Get a bit better with my editing, but it's hard work, so I'm not very technical like that. But yeah, like I say, I hope everyone's had a great Christmas and New Year. I know I've said that a lot of times, but we're only just into January. I've been Tony, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you all in the near future.